you around the ASAP at the end there, so that'd be great.
Yeah, no problem.
Thanks. Wayne, just your reaction to that game. Was it a fair scoreline in the end or not?
It was a disappointing scoreline in the end. I think, getting the try, getting back to 28-16, I think with about 18 to go, it was really important that we took the kick off and exited well, and we gave away what you describe as a very silly penalty. And those are the fine margins against these good sides, and a side like New Zealand that you do that, you give away a silly penalty for being 20 metres in front of the kicker, inexcusable, and there's 7 points, and chucking a couple of intercepts and the score blows out. So that was the disappointing part from us.
What was the news in terms of injuries? Obviously the captain Alun Wyn Jones, but also Moriarty.
Yeah, Ross is an AC joint. He was in quite a bit of pain. He's using pain relief at the moment, so that doesn't look too good. And Al, just talking to him in the change room, feels pretty good.
So you think he might be available next week, do you think?
We'll get a scan as a precaution, but he's not in any discomfort. But obviously at the time, with the previous sort of episodes he's had, I guess, he couldn't play on at the time. But he is feeling a lot better, so that's a plus.
New Zealand obviously stretched out towards the end, but were there encouragement in some of the performances earlier in the match? Tane Basham, Johnny McNichol, Aaron Wainwright maybe?
Yeah, well, if you look at the first half, if we start there, and we gave away a silly intercept, which we'll have to tidy up, and that was our positioning. So we're very disappointed with that. But outside of that, you're talking about a one try, half it, and we would have taken that before the game. So, someone like Tane Basham, I thought stood up, played very well, and then the second half, as I said, at 28-16. We're back in the game to a degree, and then we've got the crowd behind us and we give away the silly penalty, and that was game over at that point.
And last one from me, how do you pick the squad up for South Africa next week? It doesn't get any easier, does it?
No, we talked about the squad that we had for this game, that we had 2 weeks to focus on this match. We wanted to get as many learnings out of it as we could, and experiences for some of the guys who hadn't played at this level for a while. And now we've got some players coming into the squad next week to bolster it, and we'll settle on a squad early in the week for South Africa.
Thanks.
Thank you.
How easy or difficult is it to eradicate the rust maybe that was in the system for those mistakes today? And what are your thoughts about the extent of changing personnel for next week, and that you will have extra bodies available?
Well, firstly, clearly the last 20 minutes showed a difference in fitness levels. You're talking about a side that's been playing international rugby on the road now for a couple of months. Certainly that was the discussion Ian Foster and I had after the game, and we fell off a big cliff. So, some boys have come off a couple of games, or a handful of club games. So, we've got some work to do in that area, and that won't happen overnight, but we're going to work as hard as we can over the next 7 days before the next opponent.
And what are your thoughts about how quickly you can bring back in some of those English-based players?
Yeah, well, that's the key. There's some very experienced boys, and there's some boys that aren't so experienced. We'll have to get them in. We've got to see how they've come through the weekend. We'll assess that on Monday, as we'll assess this squad on Monday, and we'll see who's fit to go.
Hi Wayne, Will here. Just to check on Alun Wyn. Is there no fear that he's redislocated his shoulder? It looked almost a carbon copy of how he looked after that last Japan injury.
Certainly that wasn't the discussion, and I think our medical team was in South Africa, so I don't think they'll write Alun Wyn Jones off after what happened in South Africa. So we will get it scanned, and then we'll know a lot more come Monday.
Before this game you were quite upbeat in the week, as you should have been. Now that it's over and you've had that result, are you frustrated coming out of it that you went into it with sort of one hand tied behind your back by injuries, unavailabilities, a bit of red tape? No,
because we've got to move on from that. The game, we've known about it for a long time, and we were excited with the squad we had. Every boy that took the field there, or every young man that took the field, was very, very excited. So there were learnings for some. Some I thought played very, very well. So, we will review that performance. But look, at the end of the day, as I say, at 28-16 with 18 minutes to go, I was very pleased with the performance that day. to that point. And small margins, as I say, good sides punish you, and that's the learnings for us. And we've got to tidy that up by next week.
Just last one on your journey to 2023. Do you feel like you're any closer to your Blacks or the top Southern Hemisphere nations of the world after that, or is it more of the same that Wales have suffered in the past?
Well, I don't know if they've played with outside of the window with the injuries that we've had, so I can't really comment on that. What I can say is that the performance today will definitely have helped for us on the road to 2023. You just look at Tane Basham for one. He came out there and I thought he was probably our man of the match. A young guy there will benefit so much from that now, and his confidence will go through the roof. So, if it's just Tane Basham that's come through it, that's an extra player that can play at this level that we didn't have. So, look, we're going to look at the positives and we'll take it out of this match, and then hopefully we'll build some more. We'll build on that performance for next week. Clearly, we need to.
Hi Wayne, Beth here. Just a word on the occasion today. It's been 20 months since the last capacity crowd. How did it feel driving in and being in front of the Principality Stadium today?
Yeah, the drive-in was exceptional. It was just a privilege to be a part of it, as it is. It's hard to describe the feeling on the bus when you come through and you see all those supporters and fans that have been missing for the last, not far off 2 years. So that was a massive positive. And then the stadium and the anthems and the singing and the crowd going again, lifting us, when we got our try. So up until that point, I was enjoying the day.
Just a couple of words on the referee's decisions today. Do you think if the kind of incidents had happened to all the All Blacks, there would have maybe been a different outcome?
I don't know if you can say that, but certainly like the Barrett hand to stop the overlap that we had, we would expect a yellow card if it was one of our players. And when you give a penalty for that offence, then we expect the yellow to follow. But look, the match officials clearly do what they need to do at the time from the information they have, and that's the decision they come up with.
International sports, a lot about momentum. Did you feel when he scored that try that it was kind of going in Wales' way, and obviously then he gave away that?
Well, certainly we were pretty happy to get that score at that time to bring it back down to 12 points, and with 18 minutes to go, you need to clear your lines. The next 5 to 10 minutes is very, very important, and what we did was give the ball back to them through a silly penalty, and 7 points negated the gain that we just made. So those are the fine margins I'm talking about, and those are the learnings, and we have to eradicate that from our game pretty quickly.
Very quickly, just a word on this precedent to see him back in a Welsh shirt.
Yeah, look, both he and Gareth after the game chatting to them. Gareth started the game. It was our intention to bring Reece on, and I thought, look, they both got through just about half a game each, which was very pleasing. It was probably what we're after. I thought Reece played exceptionally well when he came on, and he'd be very happy with that performance.
Yeah, Mark.
Thank you.
G'day Wayne, it's Tony from Rugby Bus. Hey, just wanted to ask, the All Blacks making into that sort of form in the last 10 minutes where they're tossing the ball around and every pass seems to stick. How do you prepare for that kind of play? How do you shut that down?
Well, it's coming because the All Blacks have been doing it for many, many years. And look, it highlighted the big gap between the levels of fitness between the two sides, and that's come off. It's the timing of the event, coming off a handful of club games, and the All Blacks have come off a lot of test matches. So we felt that we needed to be in the game and playing well in that last 20 minutes, and as I say, silly mistakes in that time, the silly penalty, 7 points, the intercept, there's 14 points, and before you know it, a couple of well taken tries. And look, they came on and added impact with their subs, and I thought they did very, very well.
Cheers, thank you.